So we just saw the Indie Direct for spring of 2023, and I think it was a mixed bag. Now I'm going to try to go through these games as quickly as possible, give just a brief synopsis of them, and most likely I will mess up names. So starting off, we had Miniko's Night Market. Now this game is definitely one of those cozy games. It's sort of like an adventure life simulator. You can go around and you can explore, you can find things, you can sell things at this night market. In fact, the entire game seems to be based around this night market that happens, I think, once a week. Something like that. The graphics look pretty decent, but again, very slow paced, very cozy, relaxing. Not exactly a game that I would probably go for. With that being said though, this next life simulator slash farming game, My Time at Sandrock, is a game I would definitely go for, because I really enjoyed My Time at Portia, which is the prequel to this one. Now, this game doesn't come out until the summer, I believe, and this summer. And the thing is, it has a lot to do. Like, it basically is a 3D version of Stardew Valley in a lot of ways. Like, there's mining, there's combat, but not only that, but there's, like, building machines, and you can automate your farm, you can meet people. It's a good game. So with My Time at Sandrock, I'm sure they're just going to expand upon this and make it even better. Now, next up, we had a rogue cooking game called Plate Up. Now, this game comes out in October, and it looks fine. It looks like it'd be a pretty fun game for you to play with, maybe a friend or a couple friends. But it is more like one of those games where you need to have food ready in a certain amount of time. You need to make customers happy, and you just got to move really quick. Now, the whole roguelike aspect is that if on a certain run, you unlock, let's say, some sort of kitchen appliance. Well, that kitchen appliance will still be unlocked on your next run. So I guess it's an interesting idea and maybe something to give you a little bit more life out of these like cooking games, but I don't know. I'm not exactly excited for it. Another one I'm not excited for at all is a game called Quilts and Cats of Calico, which is essentially like a board game that you play with your cats being in there, and they kind of like walk on the board, and you have to have some sort of pattern to make the cats happy. I don't know. I'm not a cat person, to be honest. Like, I don't hate cats, but the idea of like trying to do something with a cat like right in your way is actually, to me, not enduring and kind of annoying. Hate me if you want, but just, I don't know. That kind of annoys me. But the next game, Rift of the Necrodancer, looks awesome. Now, this is a game that looks so complex that I probably wouldn't be very good at it, but it looks really cool. It's a rhythm-based combat game. Now, if you played Cadence of Hyrule, it's sort of like that. I mean, it's from the same game developers, but it's more like a first-person, maybe even Guitar Hero style look about it. So it looks cool. I'm not that hyped for it, but it does look pretty awesome. It was then at this point that we started to get DLC information, and this to me seems to be like the biggest part of the show, at least so far. There was some DLC for a couple games that you have to pay for, and then we got note of a free update from Shovel Knight Pocket Edition, which is pretty cool. But even more so, Cult of the Lamb. It gets an update, free DLC. It looks like reimagined dungeons. There's a new boss. There's a lot more to do. There's like more modes that are allowed in this game, more structures you can build, a lot going on. And that comes out April 24th, so really don't have that much longer to wait for that, only about 5 more days. And that looks really cool, and it's free, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. That looks awesome. Pretty excited about that. Then we heard about a game called Animal Well, which seems to be almost like a Metroidvania Explorer type game, where you play a weird creature trying to navigate your way through some really dark areas with the help of some animals, but there's also some animals that will come and attack you, and so you got to use items to escape. I don't know, they were really vague about this game. It could be cool. I really do think it could be cool, but yeah, it comes out in like 2024, so don't have to worry about it right now. Another game called Crime O'Clock, which comes out June 30th. This is a time-traveling puzzler. In many ways, it's almost like a crime-solving game, obviously, but you can travel back in time, and as you do that, you can affect other storylines and affect other areas, so it actually could be pretty fun. It looks interesting enough, but I guess we'll find out on June 30th. Then we got our Shadow Drops, and I gotta be honest, I've never played this game before, Tesla Grid, and they announced Tesla Grid 2 with it just shadow dropping today. I'm pretty excited about it, honestly, and the thing is they're offering the first one in a combo pack with the second one, but the first one's actually remastered, so apparently it gives you like, a remix of what some of the levels look like. I don't know. I've never played the first one, so I can't say too much about it. I will say it just looks really cool, and I'm pretty excited to pick it up. One of the other games that is shadow dropping today that looks really awesome to me is called Shadows Over Loathing. It's a 1920s RPG comedy. You're supposed to be helping your uncle, and when you arrive, you can't find him, and so you go on this exploration to try to find him, and as you do, you uncover this gigantic plot to destroy the world, essentially. There's all sorts of stuff, including something called a cheese mage, so I'm pretty excited about that. But no, this game actually looks really fun and really cool, so yeah, I was pretty hyped that it's coming out today. And probably the biggest news of the entire event, Blasphemous 2 is coming out this summer, and a lot of people love Blasphemous. A lot of people, Adam Miller is one, JP from Good Talk HQ, all told me like, oh, this game's beatable, and they're liars because it's not. Blasphemous is one of the hardest freaking games I played, and so them releasing a second one, you know what? It's probably going to be a little bit more accessible. They have some new weapons in this one. It looks really cool, and I'm sure I'm going to find myself this summer saying, oh, I think I can beat this one, so definitely going to be buying it. I know a lot of people are hyped for it, and that's awesome. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this next game came from Netflix Gaming, which I know that recently they've had some major acquisitions, and not just in IPs, but also in talent. As the guy who really got the new Halo game going, he was just signed over to Netflix Gaming. So anyway, this game is called Oxenfree 2, The Lost Signals. Now, apparently the Oxenfree, the first one, this is one that was like kind of before my time, like I missed it somehow. This is another game that a lot of people really liked, and so it having a sequel looks really cool too. By the way, like it's a puzzler sort of adventure type game, and again, it looks really cool. I'm pretty hyped for it, to be honest. That game comes out July 12th. Then we had like the sizzle reel, you know, they blasted off a whole bunch of games really quickly, and I'm gonna be honest, I missed most of them. The ones that didn't interest me, I didn't even look at, but the first ones that did interest me was Chance of Sonar. It looks interesting. It was like kind of like an action adventure combat game. Then Brotato, which looked like a twin stick shooter. How can you not like a game called Brotato? Then we heard about Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, which is dropping today. Now, I can tell you that my son beat it on PS5, and he loved that game, and it looked really good. It ran really good. I was pretty impressed with how well I actually enjoyed the game. I don't know. I'm probably going to end up having to buy this game, but it's interesting. Like, I am actually kind of curious to play it because I want to see how it compares to the PS5 version. I'm sure not nearly as good, but it could still be something I think a lot of Switch fans are going to be excited about. Anyway, and then finally, we got Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, which to me looks a lot like Jet Set Radio. I'm pretty excited about that as well. Didn't get a date on any of these because these kind of flew by really quick and I hadn't had a chance to really do my due diligence as I should. But I wanted to get this out and just wanted to see what your guys' thoughts are. What letter grade would you give this indie roll? Me personally, I think I have to give it around a C because I think it did have some big games and some big information like Blasphemous 2 and even Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. Like, these are all pretty big games for the Nintendo Switch, but a lot of it falls into not my cup of tea. In fact, the majority of the games didn't. But again, I respect that it can't always serve me. You know, it's got to be for the public, and there's going to be some that I'm going to really love, and there's going to be some that I don't. And this one, yeah, it just kind of falls right in the middle. I was a little bit more hyped for it. I was hoping for a few other things to come out, but, you know, I just got to be sitting where I'm at and saying, like, look, there's still some really great games coming out, and I think a lot of people are excited for it. But I don't know. I'm curious what your thoughts are. Any and all of your comments down below are much appreciated. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. I think I said appreciate like twice in a row. I know that's because I'm bad at this. Shut up.